Yo, KG4 and WE. Ross here. Should I raise the light up a little? It's dark outside. I'm gonna put the camera down anyway. So, we're gonna talk about VNCs real quick. How to use it. I've seen a lot of videos. They're very confusing. They're very aggravating. And then once you learn how to use it, you're like, oh, yeah, that's pretty easy. I don't know why they have to be so confusing, but they're not really. And we're gonna do it here. So we're gonna do just a regular SWR. We'll have SWR resistance, not reactance, but SWR resistance, you know, ohms, impedance, and a couple other things you can put on there. And a coax test coax, and also filters. I don't know. Well, we'll just start with setting it up. How about that? Alright, this is my dirty table. Alright. So I have these longer, I don't know, probably 2 feet, 24 inches. And they have the cute little adapters on them. And then people are gonna say, oh, you got the electrical length. You have to have the connect. You know, yeah. All of that is true. You know, I'm not even gonna continue to say it. But anyway, channel 0 is the one with the SWR and stuff that you're probably gonna use most often. So I'm just gonna put this little adapter on here because of my calibration tools, which is a open, a short, and a 50 ohm load. Yeah, not super critical. So now I gotta put that light back down out of the way. Alright, so here is, this says channel 0, and it looks like it's not gonna focus. Okay, we can do it like that. Come on. Alright. Channel 0, SWR. It says 1297. This shows marker 1, the frequency it's on, which would be this thing here. And you can move that with this. Okay. Over here it is channel 0, log mag, in 10 dB increments, I guess. And then this one is channel 0. Channel 0 resistance, 50 ohms. And it's 2.8 kilo ohms at this frequency. So these values are representing this frequency where this marker is. Okay, you can add more markers and whatnot, but I have this set to 3 megahertz to 30. So let's say, for instance, we want we got a 20 meter antenna. We want to check and test and whatever. So we're going to go to stimulus, start, frequency. What is it, 20 meters? So let's just do 13.5. I'm being careful with the screwdriver. And we'll say times 1, which is the same as enter. For whatever reason. Well, nope, that's a lie. I lied to you. 13.5 megahertz. Okay? Puts that here. and we're going to change the stop to, let's just do 15 megahertz. So now it's 13.5 to 15. I know it's not focused very well. You can also do a center frequency at 14.25 megahertz, and then set your span to, I don't know, 2 megahertz. Okay, then it'll do your 2 megahertz span. You could do it that way. I just find it easier. I get more of in a habit of just doing megahertz this way, to the start and the stop. Okay, now we're going to calibrate it. So we go back, and do cal, hit reset, calibrate. Now you put the open on there. The open is the one that is not the short. If you don't know which one that is, I don't know. So that's there. I'm going to tap open, and it moved down. Now it won't short. I'm going to take that off, put on the short. So basically just shorten. There's that. Tap short, unscrew, 50 ohm load, because it's asking for load. Okay, now isolation, there's a special way to do that. What I'm going to do is just, I'm going to leave the load on there and not really do anything different for that. Hit isolation, and then it wants a through. So I'm going to be checking SWR, checking, I'm just going to hook these two together. If you're going to be checking like coax and stuff, if you're going to be using channel 11 or channel 1 here, just hook the two together basically, and it's going to through. Okay, and that's all of those. So then you just hit done. And you can save it on one of these. 20 meters. Let's just save it on 2. So that way, whenever I go do something crazy, I can do another one. I can save it on 1. I can save 3 to 30 on 0. I can save 3.5 to 4 megahertz on channel 1, or save 1 and then do 20 meters on channel 2, and then 10 meters on channel 3. Then you can do 2 meters on channel 4, and then maybe 440, 440 to 470 on channel 5, whatever you want to do there. So that's that. It's calibrated. It's calibrated to 13 to 15 right there. And so now pretty much anytime we go back, if I cut it off and cut it back on, off, on, whatever, it's going to go back default to channel 0 where it was 3 to 30. So you can go to recall, which I know you can't see it, but recall, and then we saved it on channel 2. Now it's got my calibration settings for that there. It'll also save the other stuff here, but let me try to get out of that light. Alright. So, log mag. Well, let's just hook this up. I got these 3. It's probably not how yours is looking, but you can go to displays, trace. That's the traces I have turned on. Now, let's not skip that. Let's skip that step for now. So what you want to do is turn on trace whatever you want here, and then if you touch that trace, like the blue one there, touch it, and see how it highlights it here. Touch it again, it goes off. touch it again, it comes on. It's highlighted. But if I want to do something with this yellow one here, if I want to change that, then I just touch it. See how it highlighted that? Alright, we'll highlight the blue one for SWR here. And then you just go back, still highlighted. You go to Format. And you can change that to any of these. You can hit More, Image, Real Polar Reactance, Resistance, Delay, Smith Chart. Now my blue is the Smith chart. I'm going to put it on SWR because that's what I like. But anyway, so that's how you do that. And then when you hook up an antenna or something, I don't have a 20 meter antenna out here to look at, but by default, this line right here is 2, I believe. So if it's below this line, that's 2 to 1. I believe that's the case, right? I'm not sure on that, but you can tell because if you move your marker over to the frequency you want to use, and your blue line will be down here, right? So you move your marker over to the frequency you want, this frequency right here. So we're going to do 14.2. Marker will be right here. So your line will probably be down here somewhere, and it'll tell you what the SWR is there. So that's that. Now, if we want to do some testing of coax or something, actually, I have a little piece of coax here. It's probably 6 feet long, so it's probably going to be really good. Now, to test the coax, I'm going to put 2 of these on, right? Because that's what my coax is. And yes, it does change the electrical length of it. Whatever. Okay? Great. That's great. Sorry about that stupid light. So, to do coax, I'm just going to go ahead and hook it up. This is just a jumper here, really. I'm just going to hook it up. It's probably only a few feet long. This is actually going to show you the... it says my jumper is good for 20 meters. That's funny, but that's giving you some false stuff there because it's hooked in the channel 1. Anyway, so now we want to use this channel 1 here. So what I'm going to do with coax, I'm going to change this log mag to channel 1. Okay. So the way we do that is we're going to go to back trace. And I highlight that yellow one. This thing's not showing up right? Highlight that yellow one. Alright, hit back. Format. Yellow one's still highlighted. Format. Nope. Still got the yellow one highlighted. Channel. Boop. So channel 1 through we want there. So now the yellow is channel 1 through. And now this shows you the dB loss in 10 dB increments. So this top line right here is 0 dB. And that their line is right underneath that. So 0.13 dB loss at 13.25. Now let me go back and recall my 3 to 30, right? Alright, now if you look, everything changed because I recalled 3 to 30 configuration, which is channel 0. Now channel log mag here is on channel 0 again. So I'm going to go back. We're going to display, trace, tap on 1 to highlight it. I had to hit it again because it cut off. Go to channel. I'm going to put that on channel 1. There we go. Now it's going to show me I got about 2 dB loss here. 195, 193. In this little jumper right here. And it is an old jumper with bad end connectors on it. So it's showing me that at 3 megahertz, channel 1, log mag, 1.83. See that? And as we get to a higher frequency, the loss goes up. Not by much. But again, it's about 6. It's literally about 4 or 5 feet long. So not good for a jumper. So if you use this jumper, you're going to have 2 dB loss in there. So there's that. Now, you can do that with long pieces of coax too. Do I have any in here? No, I do not. Okay. So anyway, you get the idea. So when you're testing coax, you hook both ends up to this end, and then the only thing you really want is log mag here, and it needs to be on channel 1. Testing coax. Now, you can change the dB increments. If you go to scale, while the one is highlighted, you're going to change whatever you're changing over here is going to be the one that's highlighted. In most cases. So, want to change the scale, then you might have to, find it, but it's in display, scale and division. There's a lot of stuff in here, but I'm going to do it at like 0.2 dB, okay? And then hit the 1x for like enter. And it's gone, so that's not working. 0.5 dB. There we go. Now each one of these increments is 0.5 dB. So it's still a 1.91. See? But it's way down here now because this is 0. See this reference line? This little arrow. It shows you your reference line there by that little tiny little yellow arrow. Yeah, so 5, 10, 15, 20. So this would be 2 dB here. So that would be a half, it would be 1, it would be a half, it would be 2. So it's almost 2 dB, which is, So there's no numbers or anything on the sides, but you have to just kind of figure out how it works and the scales. It is a little weird. Scale and division, I'm just going to put it on 1 dB. And this 1x, like if you can't see like enter, you're doing 1 times 1. And that's what you want to enter, which is 1. It's weird, but so there we go. Now these are 1 dB, so that's 1, that's 2. And you can see what it's set at here. Remember earlier it was 10 dB? Now it's log mag set at 1 dB. So scale and division, put it back on 10. There you go. And anytime you cut this thing off and cut it back on, it's going to go back to whatever default settings you have set in channel 0. So the first time you set it up, first time you calibrate it, whatever you save, like when you go and you do your calibration, whatever you're saving, at the end of the calibration, when it says save, whatever you save to channel 0 or save 0 at the top is what's going to come up when you turn it on. So that's why I have everything set to 0, and then log mag. Log mag is like the just Google log mag. It makes sense, but I'm not gonna sit here and say I understand it. So that's that. You could do the Smith chart thing. We could turn the green trace on and it's the Smith chart, and that's awesome, but it's there, but sometimes some of this stuff gets in the way for me, and it just gets annoying. So that is the basic functions there. So you can put your SWR, turn your SWR on here, and then I put the purple one on resistance. And like you said, to change them, you highlight the trace. You highlight that trace, right? Hit the back button, go to format, and change it to whatever you want it to be. Okay, and that's how you do that.